shall bring forth children, meaning hard labor. And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. That's the law. Say he shall rule over you, over the woman. 1 Timothy 2. 1 Timothy 2 and 8. First Timothy 2 and 8. I would therefore that men pray everywhere, lifting up holy hands without wrath and doubting. I mean, you got to have faith. In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, meaning not drinking and being focused, not being no drunkard or alcoholic, not with braided hair, or gold, or pearls, or costly array. So that's letting you know that they're not supposed to be, like they do now. They get all decked out. But which becometh women professing righteousness with good works. It says, this is to the women that profess righteousness with good works. So let the woman learn in silence, with all subjection. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. It means you got to be in subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. So when you look up usurp, let's see if we can find usurp. Anyone have your dictionaries? And I'm going to ask you to get dictionaries. Usurp. This one. You have it?
Usurp. To seize and hold. This is a position, office, power, etc. by force or without legal right. The protected tribes usurp the throne. And here's another one. It says to use without authority or right.
Right.
Employed wrongfully.
Right. So I'm looking to see what this one says. Read that again out.
No. The first one says to seize and hold. By force or without legal right. The next one says to use without authority or right. Employed wrongfully.
That's right. So that's letting you know that a woman is not supposed to be having authority over the man. That's what it says, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. They say, for Adam was first formed, then Eve. And I know it's hard for a lot of women to see this in this day and time because of women's lib. I seen it was I guess a poster on Facebook. I seen they showed the Ku Klux Klan on the left, on the top, and they had women's lib, the white woman and the black woman. A black woman throwing up the fist and the white woman throwing up the fist for women's lib. Then they showed, and that was like from the left to the right at the top. Then at the left at the bottom, they had a brother, a man, and his wife and his family on one side. And when it turned to the next On the right side, in the lower right-hand corner, was a woman with her children by herself. That's what women lived in. Because they said a man couldn't be in the house. You want to get, it was about Section 8, you know. But it was the same way when they said you want to get, you know, you want to get count on the county. You couldn't have a man in the house. When they first started allowing women to have, you know, welfare and so forth. Had to kick the man out. Then the man's kicked out. Then the man looking for a job, you can't find a job. And next thing you know, the woman, she have free money coming in, however it is. She done exalt herself over the man. All this is diabolical plan against the Israelite man. Because that's the case, then they was able to get a job. I look at how these other nations come here. That reminds me, I gotta really go into it, because I tried to go into a store here in Long Beach, and they wouldn't let me in. They shook their head. No, you can't come in. In 2013. Oh yeah, I'm glad that came back to me. So I gotta make a move on that for real. It was open, they had people in there, somebody was in there. They wouldn't let me in. Foreigners. See, the foreigners that's here shall get above thee. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. Isn't that something? Yep. Verse 13 says, for Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Because Eve was dealing with Satan. And who's more slicker than Satan? To say this way you do it. Because he couldn't get to Adam, so he went through the woman. He used the woman to get to Adam. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Meaning she was one that was in the transgression. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity, which is love, and holiness, which is pure righteousness, with sobriety, not drinking and becoming an alcoholic, but being focused. That's how they're going to be saved. You want to be saved from your enemies and from the hand of all that hate you. Not just talking about being saved, you know, and just having a baby, because a lot of women, they die having a baby. You know? But just being saved. As I said, as it says in Luke 1:68 to 71, that's being saved from your enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. 1 Peter's the 3rd chapter, in the 3rd verse. So I hope a lot of y'all don't run and don't take this against me. I'm just bringing forth the scriptures as it is written. Because I know a lot of men, they won't do this. But I'm not in here for you to exalt me. I want you to know what it says, so you can study this to show yourself approval to the Most High. 1 Peter 3:1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wise. You know, because some women, they have men that's not involved in the truth. But if you maintain your status in the truth as a righteous woman, then they might be won over by the conversation that you're speaking that's concerning thus said the Most High, his word. And not your own words, but thus said the Most High's word. They could be won over. Possibly. You know? Not a guarantee, but he's saying there's a chance. Verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge. So a man's supposed to dwell with a woman according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. And that's really important, because that's why the woman got to look at coming up on high levels of knowledge. You have to do that. You have to fear the Most High. And I looked up fear. It said to be afraid. But if you're not afraid of the Most High, you're just going to act any way you want to act, then what's the Most High going to do to you? He's going to bring that wrath, as it is written. As you will see, that has happened many a times. Many a times. It says, and your prayers can be hindered. So you think the Most High is going to hear your prayers, so your prayers will be hindered because you out of order. The man or the woman, anyone being out of order with these rules and regulations, these commandments that the Most High given us, then your prayers could be hindered. It says, finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another. Love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous. That's one thing that Israelites have a lot of growing up to do. That's maturity, I think. I'll say mature. Be pitiful and courteous. So that cuts out being prideful. That's why the Most High say he hate a poor man that's prideful. But you got a reason to be prideful. You ain't got nothing. What we have? We don't have nothing compared to the multi-million or billionaires that's in this world now. He said, not rendering evil for evil. Or they did that to me, I'm going to get them back. Even worse. Or railing for railing, arguing back and forth. But contrary-wise blessing, knowing that ye are thereunto called, that ye should inherit a blessing. So what you got to look at. That's what we want. We want to be blessed and not, receiving the wrath of the Most High. Ephesians 5:22. Ephesians 5:22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Most High while Mashiach Yahushua. Let me read that to you again. Say, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Most High while Mashiach Yahushua. So that's like just the same way you honor the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua. That's why you're supposed to submit yourself to your husband. You're talking about a righteous man. We're talking about the one that's the one out there doing wickedness. And some women, that's the man doing wickedness, they down with that in wickedness with them. And here the women in the truth, you got to be a greater example than them. And the men in the truth got to be a greater example than the men that's out there doing something wicked and being righteous. It says, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Mashiach Yahushua is the head of the church. And he is the savior of the body. So it's telling you again, the husband is the head of the wife. And these are the things that we have to lock into. See, therefore, as the church is subject unto Mashiach Yahushua, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. It didn't say something, it said in everything. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Mashiach Yahushua, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, even as Mashiach Yahushua also loved the church and gave himself for it. So they got to be in order. And that's where a man will be. You got men that have women that's in order, you're gonna love them to death. Just like a Mashiach Yahushua loved us to death. And he rose. And he's on the right hand side of the Most High. And that's what we look forward to doing, regardless of whatever happens to us in this life. It says, husbands, love your wives, even as Mashiach Yahushua also loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. So it's by the word. It's not about how we think personally, as we think about what thus said the Most High's words, his scriptures that we're looking at over and over again. It says that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. I mean, we're supposed to be following the law, statutes, commandments. That's how you be holy and without blemish. Just do what he say do. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. So if you love your woman, so you love yourself. And if you love yourself, so I said, what it say? Love thy neighbor as thyself. So you start with yourself. How you feel about yourself is how you can treat somebody else. That's in order. Don't want nobody that's out of order. You got to be in order. Therefore, she's got to be in order. You out of order, then she gonna be out of order. But you out of order, she's in order. That's why it says might be the ones that's out of order might be won by the conversation of the one that's in order. For no man ever hated his own flesh, but nourishes it and cherishes it, even as the Most High, the church. So ain't nobody ever hated their own flesh, unless they just don't like the way they look or whatever. And that's why I say, love thy neighbor as thyself. How you feel about yourself, how you gonna treat somebody else. But this is all about building. This is about, we're not talking about just, you don't really care about nobody. You just downplaying them like they are nothing because they don't, you don't want to see them rise up. I mean, you got to be there with love. It's all got to be done in love. But some people don't know